as a vital satellite used to forecast hurricanes stops providing crucial data. New video shows the moment more than a dozen vehicles were swept away in San Antonio's deadly flood.
And he said, "You don't get it. It's like an ocean's coming at me."
Bacteria closes popular beaches in the Pacific Northwest.
You can get sick from being exposed to the water.
Turtle nesting season gets off to a slow start in one state.
This creature was here during the middle of the night doing what it's evolved to do over millions of years.
And a tick-borne illness is raising concerns in the Midwest.
From our nation's capital, this is the National Weather Desk.
Good morning and welcome to the National Weather Desk. I'm meteorologist Jordan Evans. We are tracking the tropics on this last day of June, keeping a close eye on three separate storms. First, what's left of Tropical Storm Barry will continue to rain itself out over eastern Mexico for the next few days. The storm made landfall last night and weakened this morning. The rain could trigger floods and landslides. And meantime, in Florida, meteorologist Lauren Olsky is tracking another weather maker that will impact the state later this week.
I'm also monitoring this area that the National Hurricane Center is watching over, yes, the state of Florida. There's a front boundary that's going to be moving down the southeastern United States, and it's going to stall across northern Florida. An area of low pressure could then develop in the Gulf of Mexico and potentially get some tropical or subtropical characteristics. Now, right now, development chances are low, only 20% through the next 7 days.
And Tropical Storm Flossie is spinning in the Pacific off the southern Mexican coast. It's expected to strengthen into a hurricane in the next 24 hours. Tropical storm watches and warnings are posted for portions of the Mexican coast. Forecasting hurricanes could be a little more challenging this year. The Department of Defense announced last week one of its satellites would stop providing data to the National Weather Service. No reason was given for the surprise announcement. Forecasters use the real-time imagery and data for a variety of purposes, including hurricane forecasting. The satellite was especially useful for at night when other observations like visible satellite were not available. Two people are in critical condition after being struck by lightning. It happened at a soccer field in Columbus, Ohio. A neighbor says he barely heard any rain or thunder when he saw a person playing soccer get struck, and everyone within 20 feet of him fell to the ground. He says he quickly called 911 and then assisted the victims until help arrived. Delta says its operations are stabilized after severe weather caused big problems on Friday. A hailstorm and at its hub at Atlanta led to hundreds of cancellations and delays. About 100 planes were inspected for possible hail damage, but Delta says now most of the planes are back in service. It's been more than 2 weeks since flash floods in San Antonio left 13 people dead. Most of those victims died when their cars and trucks were dragged through the water. Reporter Yamin Virhan uncovered exclusive video as those vehicles were swept down a drainage ditch, and families of the victims tell her it's time for change.
He went from warning us about the weather to water being in his car.
There's a moment when water stops looking like rain and starts looking like a wall. That's what Rudy Garza told his wife as floodwaters rushed in. His daughter Brittany says he called home that morning when he knew something was wrong.
Telling my mom, and she was saying, "Is there any way you could reverse?" And he said, "You don't get it. It's like an ocean's coming at me."
In this exclusive video we obtained, you can see the water wasn't just rising, it was rushing. Fox SA reached out to some of the victims' families before airing this video. For Rudy Garza's family, it was more than just shocking. It was confirmation of their worst fears. This video shows numerous vehicles being dragged like toys. Rudy's car is one of them.
I knew right away that was his car.
Experts who watched the footage say the water moved faster than the design of the channel could handle.
This was huge amount of rain during short amount of time. So this can overwhelm the channels that absorb the water.
Professor Ali Mostafavi is a civil engineering professor at Texas A&M. He says the water was not just sweeping, it was lifting. The pavement buckled. Slabs of concrete were separated.
It tells me that this amount of water that flow and the speed of it overwhelmed the design. So it could be because of the some of the upstream debris or something that flow with the water that caused the damages.
The rain gauge near this site used to warn of rising waters. It was turned off during the construction. It has been off for over a year, according to the National Weather Service website.
During times of construction, it's advisable to have multiple temporary gauges in the upstream and downstream so that we can triangulate the water flow in the absence of the permanent gauge.
TxDOT, or the Department of Transportation, did issue a statement saying the drainage system on the state infrastructure functioned properly. But when we asked Guerrero, she tells us the drainage system failed. Her father and 10 others died.
It's not fair. Not fair to my dad or any of those victims. They had no warning.
And family members say they won't stop until there are answers and action to prevent it from happening again. Beachgoers in the Pacific Northwest are on alert this morning. Public health officials in Washington state are warning people to stay out of the water at several beaches because of high bacteria levels and toxic algae. Lana Nugent is in King County with the details.
Many wanting to kick off their summer with a splash, instead finding signs like these at several King County beaches.
In the beginning of the summer, when you're ready to jump in, there's these signs that are like there's still bacteria in the water, which is really annoying.
High bacteria levels have been found at Houghton, Madison Park, Madrona, Matthews, and Mount Baker beaches. And public health officials found toxic algae at Green Lake's West Beach.
It's really disappointing because I love swimming in Lake Washington, and I don't have access to like a pool, really. So this is the only place I can go swimming.
Public health officials test the water weekly and say the bacteria can come from feces of humans, dogs, and wildlife.
Please do not go into the water because the risk is elevated and you can get sick from being exposed to the water. Most likely gastrointestinal type illnesses, but sometimes eye infection, ear infections, those things can happen too.
Public health officials say they're hoping to be able to reopen the beaches as soon as possible, especially with the 4th of July holiday weekend coming up.
Now to Folly Beach, South Carolina, where they're nearly 2 months into turtle nesting season. Advocates are keeping a close watch on loggerhead nests. Katie Solt has more.
This year we got our first nest April 29th, the first nest of South Carolina.
The turtle lovers at the Folly Beach Turtle Watch say despite a fast start, the number of nests they're finding in their daily searches is slowing down.
But since then, it's been kind of slow. Slow here and slow all over South Carolina.
Last year's renourishment project on Folly made for a lower number of nests, just 44. This year, advocates say found nest numbers are already at 38. Even with the slower pace. But that doesn't curb the group's enthusiasm for their work as turtle protectors.
When we see that crawl, something special, special feelings that, you know, this creature was here during the middle of the night doing what it's evolved to do over millions of years.
It's a never-ending effort during the season, finding the nests, marking them off, and caring for them, waiting for the creatures to hatch. Then, counting the numbers.
Rain, shine, we're out there at dawn every day. We've got 7 miles of beach. We've got about 50 volunteers, and we cover that 7 miles every day.
Some good news, beachgoers are following the rules for turtle safety. That includes lights out on the beach at night.
We've seen a huge improvement, decreased number of lighting violations. We have a number of beachfront homeowners who are going to the city asking, how can I comply?
And coming up on the National Weather Desk, important information to help you stay safe out in the sun. Plus, new concerns about the spread of a tick-borne disease.
I'm meteorologist Ryan Munn. Let's get a look at the Northeast for the day on Monday. We're looking at a pretty good day across many areas. Maybe some scattered showers and thunderstorms off towards western New England. And then as we head through the day on Tuesday, that's when we will see some showers and thunderstorms. A warm front moves through, and then a cold front will pass through. And that means scattered showers, scattered thunderstorms. A few of them may be severe as well for the day on Tuesday. We do, however, dry out for Wednesday. High temperatures today topping out in the 80s for most.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Gerard Bailey. Here's a look at the Mid-Atlantic region. Your Monday is going to shape up to be probably a rainy day. Scattered showers and thunderstorms developing at least towards the second half of the day. Your afternoon and evening, we will see a lot of activity in the region with that. Temperatures will still be pretty warm. Another day of a lot of activity coming on Tuesday along this cold front. Scattered showers and storms, but behind it, as we get to Wednesday, things will cool down and dry out. But still getting close to 90 degrees as we move through your Monday afternoon and into Tuesday.
I'm meteorologist Vitas Reed. Here's a look at your southeast forecast highs for the day. Looking at Nashville, 88 degrees, Tupelo, 89. Pensacola coming in at 83 degrees. Raleigh, toasty at 94 degrees, and we're seeing 85 Jacksonville, 87 in West Palm. We do see plenty of sunshine across the Tennessee Valley. Looking at I-95 corridor from parts of the Carolinas. Some stormy conditions across the southeast. Kind of watch this area down here in the Gulf for maybe some formation on the back edge of a front. We'll see that later in the week.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Weather wonders include this recent heavy rain shaft off the coast of Florida. And in Alabama, plenty of lightning in the distance, accompanied by a choir of chirping insects. And this time-lapse captures a rainbow, faint at first, but eventually taking form. And this pooch in Nevada took a swim while trying to beat the heat.
Good boy, Sam.
For more content like this, subscribe to the National Weather Desk's YouTube channel.
Dogs loving the water there. Health officials in Wisconsin are looking to raise awareness about a tick-borne disease that killed one person. There is fear the disease could spread because tick populations are booming in the warm weather. Ben Krumholz has more.
Spending the week in Brown County's Bayshore Park, Tara Height and her family know the dangers of ticks.
We don't like them. We use tick repellent every time we're out and about.
A few years back, my grandpa had a tick in his knee, and it was bad. He didn't catch anything, but it was all red, and it was just really bad around it then.
Like others we spoke with, the family hasn't heard of Powassan virus, but it's now on their radar after hearing someone in Wisconsin died from it this year.
That's quite concerning, as we got a lot of kids and animals.
Powassan virus was first identified in Wisconsin in 2003. Since then, there's only been 68 cases, but numbers have been going up, peaking last year with 12.
So it's probably infecting a few more people from time to time, but I think we're also getting better at detecting it, and so that can be a good thing.
Rebecca Osborne with the State Department of Health Services says it's important for people to know about Powassan virus, but health providers as well, especially if they're treating someone with an unexpected neurologic disease and had a known tick exposure 1 to 5 weeks before illness onset.
Because it's a virus, it doesn't have any medication to treat it, so you can't take an antibiotic to treat it. And if it gets very serious, sometimes people can be hospitalized, and unfortunately, in about 10% of very serious cases, people will die from this infection.
With any tick encounter, it's recommended you use a tweezers to remove it, monitor yourself for symptoms, and call your doctor if you feel sick.
They get into the kids' hair and in the ears a lot, I've noticed, and so we do a thorough check of the children.
This is also the time of year when bats are most active, and when they emerge from their caves, they eat an incredible number of bugs. Meteorologist Bad Souter breaks down the numbers.
In South Texas, there are a lot of bats. In fact, so many you can see them on radar. These are all bats. Now, the world's largest colony of bats actually in South Texas. It's right near San Antonio, and it has 20 to 30 million bats. That colony, along with other local colonies in South Texas, eat a lot per night. A lot of bugs. Just how many? Well, they eat 120 billion insects in a single night, each night in South Texas alone. It's over 1 million pounds of bugs. Now, that amount would be enough to fill 2 school gymnasiums full of bugs every night. You only have to imagine how many more bugs would there be without bats. And apparently, this will save farmers millions, if not billions, each year on pesticides.
Summer is a season for hitting the beach or the pool, and that means more time in the sun. Sunscreen and sunblock are important products to help protect you from the sun's harmful UV rays. Meteorologist Audrey Lee takes a closer look at what works best.
As the summer sun heats up, so does the need to protect your skin. Between sunscreen, sunblock, and all the numbers on the bottle, it's easy to get confused.
When the UV goes above like 6 or 7, I give them a little spray of like the SPF 55.
He's talking about UV rays, the kind we all try to block when the sun gets strong. But sunscreen and sunblock are not the same thing. Sunscreen soaks into your skin and absorbs the UV rays before they can cause damage. Sunblock just sits on the surface and blocks rays like a shield. It usually contains ingredients like zinc oxide or titanium dioxide. It's not just the product that matters, though. It's the type of UV you're protecting against. There are 2 kinds, UVA and UVB. UVA rays damages deeper layers of skin and cause things like wrinkles and sunspots. UVB rays hit the surface of your skin and causes sunburns. They're the #1 reason behind most skin cancers. The UV index helps you know how intense the sun is. It runs from 1 to 11 plus. Once it gets above 6, it's time to grab the sunscreen. And if it hits 11 or higher, you can burn in minutes. This is where SPF is helpful. It stands for Sun Protection Factor and tells you how well your sunscreen helps protect against the UV rays that cause sunburn. SPF 30 means you could stay in the sun about 30 times longer without burning if used correctly. Another important thing to look for is broad spectrum on the label. That means the sunscreen protects against both UVA and UVB rays, the aging and the burning.
Meteorologist Andrew Buck-Michael from our station in Columbus, Ohio, answers viewer questions on a social media. It's a segment he calls the Weather Bucket.
What is up, everyone? Andrew Buck-Michael back with another round of your Weather Bucket questions. We got plenty in here, and we've also got some new ones to add. By the way, just go to my Facebook page, look for this post pinned at the top, and we will answer your weather questions. All right, first question coming in from Laura. Why can we be getting rain, but up the road, the sun is shining? Actually, Carol's look similar here. What is the difference between scattered showers and isolated showers? 2 great questions. Lately, what we've been seeing here in Central Ohio, these convective pop-up showers and thunderstorms, where you get the heat of the day to basically get just enough energy to start towering up these clouds, and they eventually become a shower once they get tall enough and start raining back out some of that moisture that we've been all feeling. Now, they continue to strengthen, but they're not widespread. So that's why some areas may see rain, but other areas miss out on it because it's not a widespread complex storm. It's these individual clusters, which Carol's question is, what's the difference between isolated and scattered showers and thunderstorms? And here's a breakdown. When we just have a few covering the area, that's when it's going to be more spotty or isolated. The more we get, it's still scattered, not widespread, but we can get to that numerous and widespread, the more rain we anticipate. So when we call for scattered rain, some of us will see the rain, but not a guarantee for everyone. And hopefully that's a good breakdown of the types of rain we've been seeing here in Central Ohio lately, and also across a lot of the country, some of these scattered showers and thunderstorms. By the way, send in your weather questions, and we'll be sure to add them to the Weather Bucket for next time.
Thank you, Andrew. He's not the only meteorologist using social media to help you better understand the weather. North Carolina meteorologist Lana Foster posts 30-second weather explainers on her Instagram. Here's one she recently did explaining derechos.
Have you ever seen a wall of wind and rain pushing through an area? Well, that's not just any thunderstorm. That's a derecho. A derecho is a long line of thunderstorms that are pushing through multiple states or over the span of a state and can reach 100 miles long. It also has wind speeds up to 70 miles per hour, so as it rips through an area, it takes the wind with it. So if you ever hear us talk about a storm like that, it's called a derecho.
And as we go to break, we soar over Mount Rushmore.
Well, a very good Monday morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Andrew Michael. Scattered showers and thunderstorms across the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes for the day today. Good news is cold front sweeping through, and it will start to clear this whole system out of here. So still some scattered rain today. Most of us are going to have high temperatures in the 80s or low 90s across the Midwest. But look at all the sunshine coming out for the day tomorrow, and we'll continue to see a decent amount of sun across the Midwest for Wednesday.
Good Monday morning. I'm meteorologist Joe DiCarlo. Look to forecast across the region. We are tracking some showers and storms. We have some tropical moisture across deep South Texas from San Antonio to Corpus Christi with the rain chance as we head through the day. And then we do have a marginal risk of severe weather along the Red River of Texas and Oklahoma into Arkansas for a strong to possibly severe storm through the day. As we head into your Tuesday, more scattered rain chances, especially across South Texas with that tropical moisture moving in.
Hi there and a good Monday morning to everybody. I'm meteorologist Shannon O'Donnell. Out west, our usual dry summer heat and some monsoonal moisture to boot. That'll take us to 117 today in Phoenix and 99 as the heat returns to Boise, Idaho. 63 in the city by the bay with that coastal stratus near the California beaches. You can see that monsoonal moisture, though, blowing up over Albuquerque and near Denver later today. And that's the scene from here.
You are watching the National Weather Desk.
Hawaii's Kilauea volcano erupted again on Sunday. It's the so-called 27th event since an initial eruption back in December. The United States Geological Survey says the lava fountain reached heights of 1,100 feet, producing 1.6 billion gallons of lava. Overnight, the lava stopped flowing and gas emissions decreased. All current and recent activity remains within Hawaii's Volcanoes National Park. No lava in South Carolina, but there was plenty of electricity in this storm. Meteorologist Ed Petrowski posted this photo on his Facebook page, and it shows the true power of a nighttime thunderstorm. The lightning illuminates a towering cumulonimbus cloud with forked bolts streaking miles across the sky. It's a great illustration of just how powerful and dangerous storms can be. And this impressive rainbow was spotted in Gulf Shores, Alabama. It stretches from the Gulf over land and into the lagoon. While this view lets you see the entire arc, rainbows are actually full circles. The bottom half of the typical obscured by land, but viewing rainbows from an elevated position, you can typically see the whole thing. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm meteorologist Jordan Evans. Make it a great day. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.